Killer Off-Road Hobbies here with a video on how Big Squid says to get a better turning radius with your Yeti XL. Now, I'm running a million weight diff oil in the front, so it's gonna push a lot for me, but yeah, this thing has a horrible turning radius. It takes a Walmart parking lot to flip a U-turn. So, it says one thing to do is this rod right here, this steering rod that comes from your servo horn. It says to take it down to 27.5 millimeters, and the instruction manual when you're putting it together says to do 30 millimeters. So 27.5 millimeters, that way, you know, you get your full turn. And what I'm doing right now is I'm going to pull apart the bulkhead. Alrighty, so I got the bulkhead apart, which I'm really not too excited about because it was really hard to get in there, and that was without all the motor and ESC in it and everything. So getting it back on is going to be, I'm guessing, quite a pain in the butt. Okay, so now the bulkhead's off, the whole front end's off. I'll set this guy aside. I'm not excited about trying to put this back together, I'll tell you that right now. But have to be able to turn, so I took one of the shock pistons that I'm not going to be using, and I stuffed it down inside here, and then I drilled a hole through it so that this slides through it nice and easy. But it's the perfect size to fit in there, and with that in there, it'll compress that spring just like I needed it. So it should work, I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm like jerry-rigging this, but hopefully that spacer will work. There's enough room to still capture the spring, so the spring sits in there nice. Yeah, so I'm going to get this back together and tell you how hard it was to put the bulkhead back together. I'm sure it's going to be quite the nightmare. Okay, so just a quick tip when you're putting this back together. Because that spacer's in there, the spring has a lot more tension on it. So when you're screwing this down, make sure you screw, you do a couple turns on this side and then a couple turns on this side, and then back and forth until it's down tight. Because if you screw it down one way, it might strip your threads out because it'll have so much tension pulling on one or the other side. So that's just something I thought I should throw out there for you guys. Alrighty, so yeah, the bulkhead being a nightmare was an understatement. I mean, that thing, I've been at it for probably an hour and a half, and I finally got it back together. It's just a nightmare. Lining up the screws from the bottom is just ridiculous. I don't know why they didn't design it to where you could just put this top plate on, but I mean, that's Axel's gig. But yeah, that thing's a frickin' nightmare. Absolute nightmare. Anyways, it's back together. Everything's hooked up. I got the steering servo centered. So what I'm gonna do is plug in a couple batteries and see how it turns. Oh man, yeah. Still doesn't turn that good left. It looks like it's hitting right here, but It's a dramatic improvement nonetheless. I might actually even trim this out a little bit to stop it from doing that. But wow, they're turning way better. Yeah, that's bending that. I need to get an aluminum servo horn, but I'm gonna trim this out a little bit and yeah, keep it the way it is. Let's see, this is how you fix the steering radius on a Yeti XL. If you like this video, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, thumbs down. And as always, this is Killer Off-Road Hobbies. Peace.